Martin Wood's kicks. The fullbacks panicked every time they've kicked, and Keighley's defended exceptionally well today. We've just got to keep it going now. No panic. Just keep playing football.
Well, we'll see what happens then as the second phase of this game gets underway. Mr. Atkin from Hull checks with his touch judges. Martin Wood puts the ball deep into the bottom corner. It lands and dies. And it's Ian Thomas got the difficult task of trying to break his way through those approaching Keighley forwards. And I feel sure that Keighley's will be wanting to keep Huddersfield penned into this half of the field, but looks as though they've just conceded a penalty here. Wait to see what the signal is. Laying on. Well, certainly Mr. Atkins started off in this vein in the first half, and he's continued in the second half, but that was a bad kick there. John Walker taking it on the full, on the touchline side, struggles away from the tacklers. He's still going across the field, offloads to Ayers. Ayers finds Stevenson, but Stevenson's wrapped up eventually, is he? Yes, on the 20-metre line, combination with Helliwell, and it's Hall now coming down this side into the 20-metre area of Huddersfield, back to the place where they conceded the penalty, as Ramshaw, equidistant from the try line that is, as Martin Wood delays that pass over to Brooke Cowden. He offloads to Butterfield. Jeff Butterfield losing his footing as he tries to run sideways through that hole, and Mark Brooke Cowden fall into the tackle. Ball eventually gets into players. Ayers runs round with Ramshaw. Ramshaw decides to offload. Oh, and Ian Gately held inches short. Martin Wood is in plenty of space here if the ball comes quickly to him. Oh, and Gately kicks it through, clears the ruck, but the referee says no. In fact, he said it's a handover, but Daryl, he kicked that ball clear, didn't he?
I don't know, John, to tell you the truth. I was just trying to see what Jason were doing and Marty, because they were both set. That I thought Keith would have been better going for the drop goal myself.
Well, Gately certainly saw there was a hole there for him. He kicked the ball what looked to be clear of the ruck. Brendan Hill launching himself in the tackle there. And another tackle there by Hill, assisted by Ramshaw on the approaching Andy Pusel, and Blacker through to Flanagan. Flanagan gets the ball on there to fullback Lawrence. And Blacker at acting half-back. Switches play. Looked a bit like Davis there. There's plenty of numbers on this side of Huddersfield, but they were crowding themselves into the touchline. It's the last tackle coming up now. And the kick comes in eventually in search of this touchline. Well taken there by fullback Butterfield. Play waved off there, and Helliwell, I think, doing the tackling. No, that's not Helliwell, that's Blacker. And this is Wayne Race coming through the centre of the field for Keighley. 8 or 9 metres from the halfway line. Ramshaw onto Ayers. Ayers, long ball out there, finds Mark Brooke Cowden. The loose forward breaks through the halfway line, gets the ball back to Ayers, but Ayers falls to the tackle of Ian Thomas just inside the Huddersfield half of the field. Carlton Farrell managing to offload there. Big fella Gately goes through the centre of the park, but brought to ground 10 metres inside the Huddersfield half. Martin Wood going on his own from acting half-back. Almost falls to the tackle of Blacker, but manages to get the ball away to the supporting Andy Ayers. The last tackle comes up in that morass of mud in the centre of the field. Jason Ramshaw sets for a drop and gets it. That's a good point for Keighley, Darrell. That's 13 on the board. It's 3 scores now that Huddersfield need, but that was a tremendous drop goal there in the right stage of the game.
Certainly was, and that's what we're looking for the last time, Keith. They were down there, the drop goal. Mate, like you say, Huddersfield are now to score 3 times, you know, and at the moment they don't look like scoring once.
Play just held up here while Brendan Hill adjusts his footwear. That drop goal coming then 4 minutes into the second half. Hill just regains his position, and the referee restarts the clock. Helliwell, right boot upfield, trapped by Kevin Marr. Jeff Butterfield, I beg your pardon, John Walker picking up the ball, gets almost back to the 20-metre line before being tackled. Ramshaw acting half. Carlton Farrell looks to get away, but the Second rower there, Gary Senior, rather than tackling, decides that he's going to try and barge the man to the ground. And I think Carlton Farrell complaining there that he was being held down. Martin Wood offloads after that pass from Keighley and airs it through the hole. Feeds onto Ramshaw. Oh, and Ramshaw taken round the top there by Helliwell. No question about it, but the referee allows play to continue. Martin Wood now onto Brendan Hill. Brendan Hill looking for the offload to his right. Offloads it there, and it's a double knock on. Certainly a double knock on there, but in fact a penalty for pinching the ball by Martin Wood, but certainly 2 knock-ons there, Darrell, that the referees failed to spot.
Yeah, it's missed the second one there. Had I missed it, I thought, well, let's not have a scrum, let's keep the game going.
Huddersfield then coming back towards the halfway line, into the Keighley half. Big tackle again there by Brendan Hill on the number 12 Martin Maiders, and Black are not able to get away from the clutches of Mark Brook-Cowden either. Flanagan brings on bringing on Brad Davis there, and Helliwell eventually continuing the move into the centre of the park now. Andy Pusel right on the Keighley 20 metre line. It's the last tackle, and it's about almost immediately in front of the post. Play being switched, the kick going up for the chase. Jeff Butterfield underneath it, and in fact there's a try there.
Yes.
Well, Jeff Butterfield being I think it was a fair ball, that, Darrell, in fairness, wasn't it? He did, the man who took the ball was the man who kicked it. Just a little bit wondering, in fact, whether he took the man before the ball, but I don't think so. It was a hassle, and nonetheless good following up by Huddersfield scrum half to score.
Excellent following up there, John, but Keith with a little bit of sleep. They should have had more men round, giving Jeff a bit of support, you know, and like they said, the ball came loose and there was nobody there to lay a hand on the scrum half.
Greg Pearce then looking to put the extra 2 on the board for Huddersfield to get them 6 on in reply to Keighley's 13. That try coming on 7 minutes into the second half. Side footed through the post then by Greg Pearce.
Come on, lads, come on! Let's go again!
And certainly a good start as far as Huddersfield were concerned. I think that's the tonic they needed after going in at half time 12 points in arrears. Martin Wood then kicks the ball deep into the Huddersfield territory, and they're following up, doing the tackling there and driving that Huddersfield player back towards his own try line. Almost away from those tacklers, but not able to get away from Kevin Moore as the ball coming across quickly. King bursting through, looking to offload, looking for the support, unable to find it, has to take the tackle just outside his own 20.
There.
Davis finds the hole there, but the ball going to ground. Steve Hall regathering for Keighley. Brad Davis certainly found the hole in the Keighley defence there as Carlton Farrell goes on his own from the acting half, strides out of the first tackle, steps into the Huddersfield 20 metre area. Ramshaw, Stevie Hall hitting the gap there between the scrum half and the defender with the clean shorts, second rower Martin Maiders, and in fact Jason Ramshaw scooting over from acting half back. A tremendous try there from Jason, because I think we've actually criticised Jason for doing that before, but there was a gap there for the little hooker. He found it and he scored the try, Darrell.
Yeah, like you said, John, we've criticised him in the past. We should have criticised him again, really. You know, I think there were gaps out wide, but when they score, there's not a right lot you could say. But a good try. It was made, really, by Steve Hall diving and looks ball, and Carlton seeing the gap up the middle. Huddersfield were backpedaling all the way. You know, and then when Steve drove on again, played the ball quickly, Jason found him, Huddersfield still backpedaling. Good try.
And there's certainly a post-mortem going on behind those Huddersfield posts at the moment. Obviously deciding who was the man who was missing there and left the gap. They can think all alike and talk all alike. Unfortunately, it won't make any difference because those 4 points are back on the board for Keighley, and what a perfect reply to that Huddersfield try. Jonny Walker settles himself as a crowd hush. Oh, and it's just going to the left, so having to be satisfied with those 4 points, but Keighley re-established that gap between the two sides. Score line now reading Keighley 17, Huddersfield 6. That try coming then just short of 10 minutes into the second half as Helliwell gets play underway once more. Good run out there, in fact offloaded in the tackle as Ramshaw sets it up again. Oh, and that's a bad mistake, but it's back to one. The Huddersfield player knocking the ball forward. The referee, Mr. Atkin, wipes the slate clean, and certainly a bit of laying on going on again there, but the ball coming out this time to Brendan Hill, the big number 8, hanging on for dear life there as the Huddersfield players wrestle him to the ground. And really, two players the sizes of Blacker and Helliwell shouldn't be having to tackle a fella of that side. Referee says that was on the chest. Steve Hall didn't think so. And it looked as though it might have been that man number 10, Andy Pusil, once more. And Steve Hall certainly feeling the effects of that tackle as Martin Wood looks to skip through the hole. He too will have to satisfy with being tackled just inside the Huddersfield half of the field. Ramshaw onto Gately. Gately strides, offloads, but it's a bad one this time. Straight into the waiting arms of Ian Lawrence, and Mr. Atkin penalising Keighley for laying on again. And that free kick then to penalty rather to Huddersfield coming just 10 metres inside their own half of the field. Play will restart a couple of metres inside the Keighley half. And that player there just running straight up, even dipped himself into the tackle. A dangerous tactic as far as a player concerned that could well receive an injury. Flanagan run round again. Flanagan as he goes round the back, tries to use the player to get away from the Keighley tacklers, but the Keighley chasers doing well there as King now comes up this short side, runs at Stevenson and goes down. Well tackled, a combination there by Phil Stevenson and Martin Wood. Flanagan gets the ball across to Davis. Davis shows it just once too many times though, as Brendan Hill refused to take the dummy, and the ball out to Blacker. It's the last tackle coming up. Pearce going to put the ball for the chase, and he must be offside, but he wasn't this time, the referee said, and certainly I would have said definitely, certainly from the angle that Ian Thomas was in front of the kicker then, Darryl.
Certainly looked it, John, yeah. More offside than the other two that scored.
Play then just inside the Keighley 20 metre line as Ramshaw gets the ball onto Hall again. Recovered from that crack around the, we have to say, the upper body area because it wasn't penalised, as Ayres now finds Wood. Wood puts Brooke Cowden into the hole. Phil Helliwell though saw what was happening there, and again it's him and Blacker who do the tackling on the Keighley loose forward this time. Gately switches the ball to Hall. Hall drives into the opposition half of the field. Brought down to ground there by Maders and goes down again, and Martin Wood pumps the ball up into the air. It's a good one and it's tackled by the kicker. Well taken there by the Keighley defender, the Keighley fullback. And in fact Martin Wood being called out here.
1785 OUB. Thank you.
We wait to see what the penalty is going to be given for.
Birthday, Green Gables, Coombe Corner Club, happy 68th birthday.
Andy Pusel, it looks as though he's going to be substituted on the far side of the field. Jonah Doley, the man who will be coming on, I think.
We'd like to thank our sponsors today. That's the match sponsors. Scowgate and Winters.
Pusel going off, Nadoli coming on.
Also match sponsors, Silent Night Cabinets. Number sponsors, Backyard Raising Consultants. Thank you everyone there, and not forgetting our main sponsors.
Use of the elbow signal there by Mr. Atkin.
It took a long time to blow it. It was running out of way.
And that ball into touch, some 10 metres inside the Keighley half of the field. Huddersfield now looking to launch an attack into this Keighley try area as King goes in. The ball not played there at all, and I think the camera will have picked it up as Blacker gets the ball across now, and Hall doing the tackling on Maiders there as he bursts forward looking for the 20 metre line. Flanagan onto Pearce. Pearce running round in circles. Blacker, Flanagan, King, Davis steps through, but and certainly looking for Nadoli there, the guy coming on, normally a second rower, looks as though he's going to be a wide runner. And the chip through there for the chase, well picked up and offloaded, and good hands there, but the sticky bit there in the centre just catching Huddersfield by unawares, but they've got the numbers here as Pearce switches the play back inside again onto Blacker, but Blacker kicks the ball away. It's football time for Huddersfield over the far side. Nadoli's still going up that side. Keighley need to tackle him into touch if they can, but it's the last tackle. Good scrambling defence there, Darrell, by Keighley.
Yeah, excellent defence there. Huddersfield added sixes and sevens, and Huddersfield played ball well. They were offloading in the tackle exceptionally well there, putting Keighley under a tremendous amount of pressure.
But we have to say that scrambling defence of Keighley worked very well there under the circumstances of that not really knowing where that ball was going. I think principally because Huddersfield didn't really know either. As Steve Hall bursts out, and Wayne Race does well to take that ball. He's going away from his support, and in fact is put down just inside the Huddersfield half of the field. Ramshaw onto Marr going, long ball out to Brooke Cowden. Brooke Cowden switches back inside to Stevenson, but the remnants of the Huddersfield defence coming back across there and just catching Phil Stevenson before he could turn and move, as Andy Ayres now onto Ramshaw. Long ball out to Wood. Wood finds Brendan Hill on the far side. It's a nice ball to Farrell. Carlton Farrell's going on. He can't just get away for a good tackle there by Huddersfield on that side as John Walker goes in, but inches short. Last tackle once more coming up as play's gone from one end of the field to the other. Martin Wood puts a chip through there, but Huddersfield straight into the arms of that Huddersfield player, and a tremendous amount of pressure, but that play taking that set of six going from one end of the field to the other. Nadoli looking to kick through and not really helping his own cause there. Kevin Marr taking the ball on, offloads there to Carlton Farrell. Might have done better to settle for the tackle, but it's Farrell now for Keighley, 10 metres out from the Huddersfield line. Steve Hall in an acting half-back. He's going to just try and drive his way a little bit closer to that line. And it's Hall gets up and plays the ball. Ramshaw, Ayres brings on Gately. Gately drives through the middle, but looks to offload, but can't manage it. Can he get a take on? And it was a forward pass. It certainly looked as though Andy Ayres was going to go and score there, but the pass forward, says Mr. Atkin.
Come on, keep them under. Keep them under.
And this scrum forming 10 metres out from the Huddersfield line. Flanagan feeds the scrum out the back. Fullback Lawrence just looking for a way through, but there's no exit from that 10 metre area for him this time. Gets up, plays the ball, it sticks in the mud there as Blacker gets it onto notes of things to get this attack going. As comes back through the centre of the field, but brought down just inside the Keighley half of the field. Blacker at acting half-back, brings on King. King looking to just, well, he was looking for the support. He got the support away to the supporting Blacker, but Blacker brought down on the Keighley 20-metre line by Ayres. Nadoli acting half-back this time. Davis on to Flanagan. Flanagan out the far side to Pearce. Pearce puts the kick through for the chase. It's a good chase, it's a good kick, but it's a good kick into the crowd there by John Walker to lift that pressure off Keighley. We've got a restart under the post with the dropout, and I think Huddersfield just starting to tick a little bit again, Darryl.
They certainly are, John. They're playing the best football they've played all night. You know, Keighley's got another 19 minutes or so to hold out and get back. You know, just got to keep this defence going, and when we get down there, take up points if we have to.
Just to remind you the score lines, reading Keighley 6-17, Huddersfield 6, and that ball straight down the throat of Pearce as he takes play back into the Keighley 20. Slowly to his feet there as the ball comes out to King. He switches back inside to Davis. Davis runs across the face, evading the tacklers as he goes. Still evading. Oh, a mile forward that pass, referee, but never seen. Certainly a mile forward. The line there clear to indicate. Senior there looking. Eventually the ball offloaded back into Pearce. Pearce doesn't really know, he needs to be put down on the deck, not allowed to just jiggle about like that. The playing out this side, well tackled there on Helliwell by Stevenson. As play coming back, King now, Nadoli on his outside, offloads to Blacker. Blacker well met though there by Stevenson, and certainly the ticking of Huddersfield at this moment as Flanagan now tries to work the magic in the centre of the park. Pearce found the ball and still being allowed to offload as Flanagan goes outside. Thomas is with him, but he can't release the ball. This is the last tackle of what seems an interminable piece of defence by Keighley. Pearce going for the line, but the ball being lost and regathered by Keighley by Jeff Butterfield, and it's Martin Wood now looking to get away, but that ball looked as though it was stripped out. That ball going backwards, I would have said, could easily have been stripped, Darryl.
Certainly looked it, John, from here, but the referee's a lot closer than us. Martin ought to know better, really. We should have kept it tight there. Going off.
Yeah, the first tackle. Brendan Hill coming off, Andy Stevenson coming in. It's Phil Stevenson will be going into the pack to take his place, or I should say Steve Hall moving up front and Phil going into the second row, and Andy Stevenson going into the centre place just vacated by his brother. And certainly a lot of pressure now that Keighley have got to absorb. There's 24 on the clock as that ball comes out to Huddersfield. It's Pearce moving away from the scrum, almost tackled into touch as he went. Gets up and plays the ball quickly as the ball comes across this park for Huddersfield, but caught in possession there, just inside, and Keighley desperately defending, and the ball being lost. The referee says play on. Well, that again, I don't think the referee saw what happened, and I'm sure that the touch just didn't, but that ball strangely coming away, and the referee pulling out a Huddersfield player. He's obviously said something. He's getting 10 minutes for talking. That's Blacker. And that does Huddersfield cause no good at all, because Blacker and Flanagan have certainly been operating well together.
Certainly have, John. Blacker, Flanagan and the standoff Davis have been taking Keighley apart. It's only been last minute defence by Keighley that's kept them out. So Keighley, with a bit of luck now, should settle down, get the composure back. By the time Blacker comes back on, there'll only be 5 minutes left.
Martin Wood then puts that ball safely into touch, 30 metres out from that Huddersfield line. Ramshaw, Gately going down like a train, busts into the 20-metre area. Ramshaw gets the ball from acting half, brings on Hall. Hall goes into the tackle, bounces back and goes back for another dose. Gets up and plays the ball. Ramshaw onto Ayres, runs round with Ramshaw. Marr gets the ball out to Stevenson, looks to offload inside. Phil Stevenson though going to have to take that tackle, 5 metres short from the from the line, nothing silly, set it up Keighley as Mark Brook-Cowden steps inside the first tackler. Kevin Marr looks for a hole through, but there's no way through in this corner for him. Stevenson at acting half, but gets the ball onto Ayres. Ayres finds Wood. Wood goes for the dummy, offloads to Stevie Hall, and he's got a free run to the line. Well, Huddersfield absolutely asleep. Huddersfield, I think quite honestly, they were waiting for the referee to blow the whistle for something, but the ball was put backwards. Steve Hall just couldn't believe his eyes.
No, mine were there past, but I think they were chasing penalty because Ian Gately were tackled without the ball. Everybody stopped, you know, and the ball come this way. Huddersfield were going out to the far side. Steve picked it up, saw a gap, couldn't believe it.
It was a gap as wide as the M62 was out, that's for sure. That try then for Steve Hall coming 26 minutes into the game, and I think Jason Ramshaw just having a word with the referee about it, but about Ian Gately being taken off the ball. But I think Lee said, best said, and let's just get on with the ball because the 4 points are on Keighley's scoreboard. John Walker then putting that ball down, what seems to be rather a long way back for a not a difficult kick, making it less easy for himself. The crowd hushes then, and through the middle, he knew exactly where he wanted that ball. I certainly thought he'd have had it a bit closer to the kick, to the goal post, but not so. He was confident in his own ability, and that's another 2 on the scoreboard for Keighley. 23 points to 6 the scoreline now reads, and I think really that try coming as a direct result, Daryl, of that rather stupid word to the referee by Blacker.
Well, it came from the ball coming loose up there, Kevin Marr picking up and running, then Blacker, like an idiot like he said, opened his mouth and put all his side under a lot of pressure. Keighley scored from it.
Carlton Farrell coming back, taking that ball from the restart, this time on his own 20, getting almost to the 30 metre line before being tackled as Ramshaw gets the ball out to Kevin Marr on that far side. The number 12 for Keighley gets up, plays the ball onto Ayres. Ayres switches play inside to Stevenson. Stevenson goes through the centre, took a crack around the head, but certainly didn't affect his progress forward as Ramshaw looks for the man coming. It's Stevie Hall. Steve Hall tackled by Nadoli, 30 metres out, tightly hangs onto that ball. Phil Helliwell looking for the offload, it didn't come though, as Ramshaw through the hands of Ayres onto Wood, back to Ayres. Kevin Marr going through but unable to get it away, but he still manages to release the ball to Ayres. Back this time to Stevenson. Martin Wood wrapped up in the centre, but no, at a second attempt he was wrapped up there in the centre, and Keighley tried desperately to get up and play the ball quickly, and Ramshaw goes for the drop goal attempt, but just going wide this time. Huddersfield then now looking to get back towards the halfway line as they struggle up this Cougar Park slope. Nadoli turns in the tackle, offloads to Helliwell. Helliwell goes for the gap, doesn't find, well, he found the first gap, but he didn't get through the second one as a result. Couple of metres inside the Huddersfield half play still as Flanagan gets the ball onto Davis. Davis switches back inside, the full back in the line, but unable to get that ball away or release or get away from the tackle. Senior going through, releases that ball back to Lawrence again. Lawrence offloads, it's knocked down to the ground there, I think by a Keighley hand. Yes, the referee wipes the slate clean. We've had 30 minutes in this second half as Huddersfield now go on there. Player going on his own there. Gately caught one in the tackle. The player coming in across the field now, missing out Pearce, brings on King. King looks, he has Nadoli in support, but decided that he was going to take the ball. Oh, and he can't play the ball to yourself there. No way can you play the ball to yourself there. There was a marker. What a disgraceful decision by Mr. Atkin.
Enough said, John.
I think the hush in the crowd says it all. Even the Huddersfield supporters didn't cheer. What an appalling decision, or lack of decision, by that man in blue. And I think he knows it as well. He certainly will when he sees the tape. No need for further words, I don't think. Well, Greg Pearce tries to convert that unbelievable try for Huddersfield. And he misses. Well, at least there is justice in this world somewhere.
We'd like to thank today's match sponsors, Keighley and Linton Limited. Directors are...
Referee just stops the clock once more as a double substitution going on, I think, for Keighley. Brendan Hill coming back on with Joe Burry and Mark Brooke-Cowden and Ian Keighley going off.
Substitutions, off comes Mark Brooke-Cowden and Ian Keighley, who's worked very, very hard. Pair of them, tremendous lads, well done. And on comes Big Brendan and Joe Burry. Related to Big Burry of Hartlepool.
And what? Martin Wood then gets play back underway as we just wonder who the man of the match might go to today. Darrell, you were right on Sunday.
I'll be wrong tonight then, John. But I think if Steve Hall got it, I can't see there being many complaints. Ian Gately's had a good game again tonight. Martin Wood's had an excellent game, certainly with his up and unders. But overall, I think Steve Hall's just pinched it.
Well, we'll see if the people up there agree with you. As King now busts out of his own 20-metre line. Struggles to his feet, and the ball eventually through the hands of Pearce, on through Flanagan. Davis, and I think really a feature of the game has been the lacklustre display or the lack of being able to perform of Davis, and the way in which Keighley have actually and that's a knock on, and the way in which in fact Keighley have snubbed him out really in the game.
Yeah, they did, John. Huddersfield just played good football for that 10 minutes before they were simming in. You know, they put Keighley on the back really. Fortunately Keighley managed to hold out virtually without leaking at all.
Kevin Marr then going down this touchline side, and yes, Brad Davis really been made ineffective by the Keighley defence. They've marshalled him well, and this is Burry. Burry made a good break, you remember, on Sunday through the centre of the defence, similar position at Backley to set up that Kevin Marr try. Now as Ayres goes down, Stevenson just stopped halfway through there. Andy Stevenson, as the ball goes out, Brendan Hill on the far side on the charge, tries to stay in field as the Huddersfield defence try to take him out over that touchline side. It's the last tackle. In fact, the ball's been lost, and Brendan Hill driving the man who the receiver there back towards his own try line. The referee's just having a look to see what's happening underneath there, telling the man to get up and play the ball. Looks like Thomas. 3 tackles there that's the second tackle. This is the third coming up as King tries to get yardage away, and he does get good yardage away from that danger area for Huddersfield. 35 minutes on the clock then. Blacker could well be coming back on. Oh, and a basic mistake there. No pressure on Huddersfield whatever as Martin Wood skips away from the tackler. Oh, and what a position to put a ball down as Steve Hall goes on his own and scores! Oh, what a try! That's Stevie Hall's hat-trick! I don't think he's ever scored a hat-trick before in his career, either at amateur level or professional. And what a day to score it against the contenders for the championship title, Huddersfield.
Excellent tie, John, again. Saw the defence. Martin Wood picked the loose ball up. Huddersfield back pedalling. Quick play the ball. Like I said, Martin's had an excellent game. Steve Hall wide awake, realised Huddersfield were back pedalling, picked it up and drove over. Good try.
Certainly was indeed. And I think as far as Huddersfield are concerned, they will be now just thinking how much longer before that final whistle goes and we can go back to the dressing rooms and see what goes. But I think in all fairness, we've really got to look at a joint man of the match tonight. It's really got to be shared between Martin Wood and Steve Hall. We can't say any other.
Well, I can really, John. It's got to be shared between all 15. They've all done excellent tackling. They've backed each other up exceptionally well. This has been one of the Keighley's better displays. Certainly the best this season, I should think. You know, they've played as a team. Excellent display.
Yes, I quite agree with that, as Jonny Walker then adds the extras and the points go on the board, and a comprehensive victory for Keighley, and there's still about 3 minutes of running time left plus stoppages.
Jonny Walker. We're waiting for the man of the match. We don't know who it is yet.
Blacker then back on the field. He's served his 10 minutes for the indiscretions in the sin bin.
Yes, you guessed it, it's Stevie Hall!
Who would have guessed?
Hat-trick boy.
Kevin Marr then takes that ball on the full and certainly concur with what Darrell said there about every single player on the Keighley side put 110% in. They knew it was a big game, and I think anybody would agree that they've completely outplayed Huddersfield today. Ayres then offers the ball to Joe Burry. I think perhaps he might have given him it on that occasion because the support coming for the run across wasn't there. And Ramshaw now switching play to Martin Wood. Wood chips it over the top. He's going for the chase himself. It bounces kindly. Big Brendan! Oh, and he falls on the sand. He slipped on the beach. The ball there's loose and Martin Wood's in. And there's been some slack defence round that play the ball for Huddersfield tonight, and it's cost them points, and it's cost them dearly. But what a barging run there by Brendan Hill. Unfortunately not be able to keep his foot in long enough to go across the try line. And I think he's just a bit upset about something as well that probably happened to him when he was down. And again, as you so rightly remarked, Darrell, the creator, Martin Wood once more.
We think it was Jason Ramshaw that scored that one. It's Jason Meyer.
Martin.
It was Woody.
Surprised you can't tell them apart there. It's probably all Martin's hair that's got him beat. Looks like a scrum cap.
Jonny Walker then looking once more to add the extras and duly obliges.
Jonny Walker! And Martin Wood is looking good, his old Martin boy, doing well. Jonny Walker. Cougar goal number 6. 4 and 5.
And the referee just going to have a word now, I think, with Brendan Hill for whatever went on. Certainly Brendan's not happy, and his referee, Mr. Atkin, I think quite wisely, just telling him to ease off. The game's nearly over. We're into stoppage time. And the referee also just having a word with Phil Halliwell for the same reason, I suspect. Halliwell pumps that ball downfield, down the throat there of... and certainly King, I think, gone crackers there. on Carlton Farrell. I don't think there was any real reason for that. There was no need for it, that's for sure. And I don't think we need to see players doing that. We certainly don't want to see anybody going off in this late stage of the game, Darryl, do we?
No, not sent off anyway, but it was stupid there. I don't know what they're having 4 or 5 free swings at Carlton. What happened down there, I don't know. Carlton weren't involved in that down there on the try line, so why they should take it out on Carlton up here, I don't know. Just being an idiot.
Indeed, and Mr. Atkin just going to give the penalty for that punch. The scoreline now reading 35 points to 10 in Keighley's favour. We've had 6 tries, we've had 5 Jonny Walker goals. The Keighley tries, 3 of course to man of the match Steve Hall, a couple to Martin Wood and 1 to Jason Ramshaw. 6 of those goals, as I said, plus 1 drop goal to Jason Ramshaw as Brendan Hill gets into the opposition half, but it's all over. It's academic, but what a result for Keighley. The final score then, Keighley Cougars 35, Huddersfield 10. And certainly the crowd of 5,200 plus tonight have certainly had value for money, no doubt about it. A good workout for the game at Dewsbury next week, and certainly a good one for the Cup against Castleford. We'll be there, we hope you can join us. Only on their side, but against them as well. That try coming right in the right time as far as Keighley were concerned. 39 minutes on the running clock in this first half. Remember, they've played up this slope here in the first half. 40 minutes downhill to come. John Walker then, he'll be about 15 metres or so to the left-hand side of the uprights, searching for his second goal of the evening. And there it goes through the post. 12 points to 0 the scoreline reads as Jonny Walker converts his second try. That one scored by Martin Wood. Right on 40 minutes now then, we're into stoppage time. There has been a little bit, but not too much. Well, we hope we see the rest of this half. We've only 30 seconds of this tape left. We shall find out. Halliwell pumps that ball down towards the Cougar post. Jeff Butterfield picks it up, runs back towards the 20-metre line. Secure the ball for 6 tackles, but we don't need to. There's the half-time hooter. We've seen tries by... We've seen 2 tries for Keighley, both converted by John Walker. First one by Steve Hall, the last one by Martin Wood, and that's that.